That's exactly what happened to Daniel Reed, a single father just trying to hold his world together. If you stayed till the end, this story might just remind you that love doesn't always come when you expect it, but when you need it most. So before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who believes in second chances. It was one of those mornings when nothing went right. Daniel was running late, again. His little girl, Lily, was already late for school, the breakfast was still half cooked, and his old pickup truck coughed like it was begging to be retired. The world seemed to conspire against him that morning, and as he sped through the intersection, he didn't even see the red light. The flashing blue lights behind him came seconds later. He sighed, pulling over, his heart sinking. "Just what I needed," he muttered, gripping the steering wheel. The officer stepped out, a woman, firm and confident, her presence commanding yet calm. Officer Claire Matthews. She walked up to his window, and when Daniel rolled it down, their eyes met for the first time, tired brown eyes meeting determined blue ones. "License and registration, please," she said, her tone professional. "Officer, I know I was over the limit. I'm sorry. My daughter's late for school, and..." Her gaze shifted to the passenger seat, where Lily sat clutching her backpack, her big brown eyes watching nervously. "You should have thought of that before running a red light," Claire said, jotting notes on her pad. "You could have hurt someone." Daniel nodded, guilt washing over him. "I know. It's just been a tough morning." Claire handed him the ticket, her expression softening slightly. "You a single parent?" she asked, noticing the car seat, the lunchbox, and the weary lines around his eyes. "Yeah," he said quietly. 3 years now. Just me and her." For a moment, she hesitated. Something flickered across her face, empathy, maybe even admiration. "That's not easy," she murmured. "You're doing your best, huh?" "I'm trying," he replied, his voice cracking slightly. "Some days it feels like I'm failing, though." Claire looked at him then, not as an officer, but as someone who understood pain, the kind you hide behind uniforms and badges. She took a breath, glanced down at the ticket in her hand, then looked up again. "If you weren't married," she began softly, almost as if she didn't mean to say it aloud, "I'd ask you to grab a coffee." Daniel froze, confused. "I'm not married," he said with a half smile, "just tired." The air between them changed, something gentle, unexpected. But before either could say more, another call came through her radio. Duty pulled her away. "Take care of yourself, Mr. Reed," she said, her voice softer now. "And slow down." Weeks passed, but Daniel couldn't stop thinking about her. He'd tuck Lily in at night and remember that brief spark, the way her eyes had softened, the warmth in her voice when she said those words. It was silly, he told himself. She was just being kind. Still, every time he drove through that same intersection, he slowed down, just in case. Then one evening, it happened. Rain poured heavily, and Daniel's truck broke down on the side of the road. He tried calling for help, but the line was dead. Lily was shivering in the back seat, scared. Out of nowhere, headlights pulled up behind them, the familiar blue and red glow cutting through the storm. Officer Claire stepped out, umbrella in hand. "Looks like you're in trouble again, Mr. Reed," she said with a teasing smile. He laughed, embarrassed. "Guess I am. Didn't think I'd see you again." "Lucky for you," she said, "I was patrolling this route." She helped them both into her car, wrapped Lily in her jacket, and drove them home. That night, over a shared cup of instant coffee in Daniel's kitchen, the walls that life had built around both their hearts began to crumble. Claire talked about losing her husband in the line of duty, how she'd buried herself in work ever since. Daniel spoke of his late wife, the cancer that took her too soon, and the loneliness that came after. Somehow, in that storm, two broken souls found a quiet understanding. Over the next months, their paths kept crossing, school events, grocery store aisles, even community charity drives. Every meeting felt like fate whispering, "Don't let go this time." Claire started visiting more often, helping with Lily's homework, joining them for dinner. Laughter returned to Daniel's house, the kind that had been missing for years. And Lily. She adored Claire. She once whispered to her dad, "Daddy, I think Officer Claire should be my mommy." Daniel's heart melted. One spring evening, under the same traffic light where they first met, Daniel stopped his car and looked at Claire in the passenger seat. "Remember the day you gave me a ticket?" he asked. She smiled. Hard to forget. You looked like you were about to cry. He chuckled, reaching into his glove compartment and pulling out that very ticket. Best fine I ever paid, he said. Claire laughed, her eyes glistening. Is that so? Yeah, Daniel replied, taking her hand. Because it led me to you. Months later, the small-town church bells rang as Lily scattered flower petals down the aisle. Claire walked toward Daniel, radiant in white, tears shining in her eyes. The same woman who once stopped him for speeding was now walking into his life forever. And as they exchanged vows, Daniel whispered, "You once said, if you weren't married, well, now neither of us has to wonder anymore." The audience cheered, Lily beamed, and for the first time in years, Daniel felt whole. Sometimes love doesn't arrive with roses and promises, sometimes it starts with a ticket, a mistake, and a moment of unexpected kindness.